Hello, I just watched Sinister. This is one that I'm glad that I rewatched because I remember when I first watched it, I was really frustrated with it, but this time around, I actually really enjoyed it. It might have something to do with the numerous shitty ghost movies that I've seen since this movie came out. It's about a true crime writer who moves his family into a murder house to solve a case to make a new book, who finds a box of Super 8 film reels and a film projector that has a bunch of spooky shit on them that starts to haunt him and a bunch of other shit. As far as ghost movies go, this is one of the better ones that have come out recently. The spookiest parts of the whole movie are without a doubt all the home movies. I mean, this is one hell of an opening scene for your movie. Each one is really done well, and is genuinely creepy and sometimes disturbing. Like seriously, holy shit. And the real cherry on top is the use of music. Most of it is just from one 22-minute long song by Over, and it was perfect. I don't think they could have made these films any better. The only problem with them is that there's only 5 of them, and they show 4 of the 5 of them before 35 minutes have passed in the movie, which then leaves them to have to resort to really lame-ass jump scares. And I guess even those aren't that terrible until these fuckers show up.
So if you come at me, I can bash your head in.
With how scary the home movies are, it was just really disappointing to see them resort to jump scares accompanied by a loud banging noise every single time. Some of them probably even would have been decent if it weren't for the obnoxious noise. Like imagine this one, with no loud noise and just seeing it and realizing Mr. Boogie by yourself. Or if instead of Mr. Boogie here coming in from the side, he just appeared just standing in the center with no jump scare noise. The real irony too is that this movie has probably one of my favorite jump scares of all time during the lawnmower scene. Like this is at least number 2 on my list, with number 1 being the one from The Ring.
I saw her face.
There's even this moment where Ethan Hawke is going back through some of the videos and he sees that in the background you can see Mr. Boogie. But if you go back early into the movie where he was watching it the first time, he's not in the background. Which fine, maybe it's because they thought that people might notice it and it would be distracting. But I seriously doubt that that would have happened. It would have been cool on a second rewatch to notice it. But even when they play later on, when the projectors are playing themselves, he still isn't in the background of the clip. And Mr. Boogie himself is definitely another positive for the movie. His design was awesome, especially in the Super 8 films. He looks actually terrifying. But of course, in some of the real-time moments and close-ups, he looks ridiculous. He kind of looks like the ghost of Michael Jackson. In the Super 8 films, he definitely serves his purpose, though. It kind of reminds me of the CGI monsters in The Mist. Originally, the movie was supposed to be in black and white, and when you watch it that way, the CGI doesn't look that bad. But it came out in color, and when you watch it the way that it came out, the CGI looks pretty bad. If he only showed up in the home movies in the bush scene, it'd be great. But every moment outside of that, he just looks goofy as hell. And another minor complaint I have about the movie is that there are a few scenes in this that are just so dark I can't tell what the hell I'm looking at. Scary movies like this should definitely be predominantly darker, but this is too much. And I gotta say, and I'm sure it comes as no surprise, but Ethan Hawke really elevates the movie. He's a great actor in general, and he really kills it in this movie. And another one of my favorite actors, Vincent D'Onofrio, shows up and literally just Skypes in a performance from his home office, making the easiest paycheck of his life.
Thank you, Jessica.
But the best part about how good this movie is that unlike most ghost movies, when it comes to the ending, they didn't completely blow it. So, spoilers, but it's revealed that Mr. Boogie was hiding the Snyder cuts of each film, and Ethan Hawke watches them, and once again, he's not in the bushes. And it turns out all the kids who went missing from each murder scene were the ones who actually did the killings and got ate by Mr. Boogie. And then his daughter drugs him and joins the bandwagon. Which is a great reveal, but earlier in the movie, they make a point to say that each of the people that died were drugged so that there would be less of a struggle.
Toxicology reports some cases the killer drugged his victims. By drugging them, the killer removes his need to overpower them.
Which, yeah, that makes sense. But fuck off if you want me to believe that little kids are dragging their adult parents into cars or onto the lawn or onto pool chairs tied with cement blocks. And the house where the lawnmower scene happened, by the way, looks just like a regular house in a suburban neighborhood. I would definitely be looking out my window if I heard someone mowing the lawn in the middle of the night and notice a little kid trimming their family up. No way there wasn't a witness. But there is a great moment earlier in the movie that helps lead up to this moment, where his daughter tries to do something nice for him and he completely brushes it off.
you your coffee, Daddy.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Oh. Yeah, Ella.
And a nice little subtle detail is in some of the home videos where the kids who did the killings will sometimes look directly in the camera since they're the only ones who know where it is. Or when the kid is on screen, the film is much more stable because they set it on something instead of holding it themselves. But if I had to nitpick the ending, I think it would have been way cooler that after Hawk passes out from getting drugged, it looks like we're watching the new home video of her killing them and then joining Mr. Boogie and call it at that, to mimic the opening of the film, which would have been a great haunting ending. At least way better than this stupid shit. So overall I really enjoy this movie. It gets frustrating when they have really cheap scares with how great some of the haunting moments in the earlier parts of the movie are, but overall it's still a really enjoyable movie. I give it a 7 out of 10.